to the Tipsy Ghosts. We're your tipsy hosts, Sarah and Lindsey.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I have some random fun facts for you guys.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
I love random fun facts.
This
I love
first
facts.
one you guys are going to love. Ready?
Okay. Ready.
Studies show that football teams that wear red play better.
Yes. Go Chiefs.
So the
I love
reason
that.
behind this is the color of your clothes affect how others perceive you, and they change how you feel.
Ooh.
And they looked at a ton of football games from the past 55 years and showed that teams that wear red consistently play better at home than teams in any other colors.
Okay. That checks out. Do you
Look
think
at
it's
that.
because
Go
like
Chiefs.
they look angry? Like we're aggressive?
Like it's an intimidating
A
color.
bowl?
Yeah. Yes, a bull. Bulls are red.
Maybe, but I just bought this jersey. It says 87, but the name
Says Swift.
is Swift.
Yes. I have a friend who
Okay.
has that.
In my head, I thought you were going to say the opposite. The years, or it said 89, but Kelsey
No, it's
as in
80,
1989.
87 and Swift. And
That's adorable.
I hope that one of the two signs it.
Can we ball it up and take it to London somehow?
Okay.
What if he's there and we're like, we're from Kansas City?
When we're going to be there, he's got a preseason game.
Damn it. Okay. All right. We'll change that
So,
plan. All right.
There goes
Proceed.
that. Okay, next fun fact.
Where is the happiest country on earth?
Norway.
Probably.
Finland.
Yeah, very close.
Super close.
Yes.
Super close. They have been the happiest country for 6 years in a row.
Okay.
I wonder how they judge that. Are you happy? Check yes or no.
I don't know how they judge that.
Yes or no?
That is an excellent question. Is this a self-report?
This place sucks. I hate it.
This is the worst place ever.
Nobody asked me.
I know. I sure don't remember getting a happy report.
I
Or
wasn't
do
on
you?
the census. Maybe that's how they do it. They do it on the census. I
They don't
know.
even ask us anymore because they know.
I should
know.
answer the door next time.
All right. So fish, when there's an emergency in the ocean and fish like say they have to like listen. Say that fish have to escape.
What's an ocean
type-
emergency?
What type of emergency?
Like they're
are we
running from a predator or something
Is
and
there
they
an
have to
alarm?
escape like through a narrow thing. Fish get in line.
Wah, wah. This is just a drill.
The
Oh my
fish
God, it's
can
happening.
get in line and they escape in an orderly fashion. And people say, who study this, say they do it better than humans. We are chaos when there's an emergency, but
You
fish
know,
all
I
get in
am-
line and they're like,
I am
yes.
not surprised whatsoever. It's 'cause- it's just like the scene from The Office.
Everybody, remain calm.
It is 100%. Remember your training. Everyone is every man for themselves.
The cat falls through the ceiling.
I love that scene.
It is actually one of my favorite scenes ever. Honestly,
Turn
one of
that
my
on
favorite
tonight.
openings.
Yes.
Okay. Lobsters pee out of their faces.
What? I'm sorry.
It's from right underneath their eyes.
Can you demonstrate?
I can't do that. No.
Is that crying? Are they crying?
That's where their urine comes out.
How do they know?
But are they crying?
That seems like tears.
I don't know.
Seem
I'm
like
sure
tear-
somebody
I'd
studied
like
a
to-
lobster.
Do we know a scientist?
Here's the question, though.
I'd
We-
like to have a conversation.
We don't. But also, if you're in water, how do you know that you're crying?
Do lobsters cry? Do we know if they do?
Great question.
Apparently they do. Somebody thinks that. You know, that just seems like a random statement. Like, I can make it up and who's going to prove it?
I'm sure that
Lobsters
there's
cry
a
out their
scientist
faces.
out there. Who knows?
Prove it.
All right. Here's one thing that has been studied or proven.
Okay.
What is the most likely day of the week that you are going to have a stroke?
Ending in Y.
Ooh. Okay.
Monday.
Probably. Mondays are stressful.
Monday?
Yes, nailed it.
It is
Yeah.
more likely for you to have a stroke on a Monday than any other day of the week. All right. Here is a cool history one for you, okay?
Ready?
Ancient Europeans believed that if they ground up the bones of their greatest warriors
Yeah. this
and
is
mixed
like,
them in with the iron when they forged the sword, that
Ooh.
it would contain their spirits, which would make the sword stronger.
I actually love that.
But what they did not know
Oh.
was when they added in the bones, they were actually introducing carbon to the mix, and that created carbon steel, which is stronger than iron.
See, they were onto something.
So they were making their sword stronger. They just didn't understand the science behind it.
What's the nursery rhyme where they grind their bones? No, really, it's a
What?
thing.
I do not know.
What nursery rhymes are you listening to?
Please, hang on.
That probably,
I listened to Mary Had a Little Lamb whose fleece was white as snow. You're like, the one with the ground up children bones.
I knew from an early age that Hansel and Gretel was a very dark story. Something was not right there. Even Alice in Wonderland felt really...
Cinderella. They were
Yes.
all very, like, terrible. The actual legit ones.
Mm-hmm. Fee-fi-fo-fum, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I smelled...
Faux-fum. I smell the bones of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Right, okay. I don't remember the poem sounding like that, though.
If
Is there like an English version, not like an Old English version?
a fee, a fi, a fo.
That's
I
the Old
cannot.
English version.
I cannot with you guys.
Lindsay, go ahead.
I don't even know what to say to any of you guys right now. You don't like the sound of your own voice because the bones in our head make our voices sound deeper than they actually are.
Because it's on the inside.
So we sound deeper in our heads than we actually are. So that's why we don't like the voice in our head.
Because when you hear it back, it's actually higher pitched.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
So you're telling me I can't go as deep as Taylor Swift?
That's why we don't like our own voices. Whenever, even now, when we listen to the podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate listening to myself.
It's much better.
We sound differently than we think we do.
That's very true. The very first few times I was like, dear God, I don't know if I can do this.
We listen to ourselves all the time. Recordings, podcasts.
I'm more
I
used
need
to
to
it.
go into hiding and never speak again.
Please don't ever play this to anybody. Yeah, the recordings are the worst, I'll be honest.
I
Cutting it
cannot
up.
stand to listen to myself laugh in the recordings. I sound like a banshee. In every single recording. I'm like, oh,
Banshee.
that's me laughing.
That just means you're having a great time.
I love your laugh.
I do too.
I hate it, but thank you. Did you know that bananas are radioactive?
No.
I eat a lot of bananas.
So because they're so rich in potassium, they are slightly radioactive.
But radium isn't potassium.
Right.
So
Explain.
Okay, I'm going to try. Bananas have the isotope potassium 40. Your body contains around 16 milligrams of potassium 40, meaning you're around 280 times more radioactive than a banana already. And any excess potassium that you gain from a banana is gone within a few hours.
Okay.
So,
I only like really green bananas, so I don't really eat them a lot.
What is wrong with you?
ew.
They are sweeter.
No.
No, they aren't.
No.
They are more delicious.
Like
Okay.
when the peel is so crunchy, you almost have to cut it off.
Who's
Carrot?
eating the peel?
That's what I'm saying, that
But
they're
that's-
too raw.
It's too green.
Yeah.
No.
You gotta wait.
I don't like brown bananas.
Okay, but the green ones make my mouth itch.
Yellow ones are not brown.
Same, but I think they're the most tasty.
No, that was wrong.
You're wrong.
You want to know where the quietest place on earth is?
In
A cave.
my brain.
Really?
No,
I
it's pretty
wish.
loud.
Yeah.
No, your brain never stops.
Okay, Scotland in a cave.
I said a cave. Like a whole country?
Like the quietest place in the world. Where do you
Ooh.
think that would be?
The,
She
forest.
says it's a cave in Scotland.
the Sphinx,
No.
but underground because the Sphinx has things underneath it.
It's got to be an echo chamber.
Would it help if I said it's actually in the USA?
Okay, one of those
Is it outdoors?
No gravity chambers.
That's what I just said.
So it is in Redmond, Washington, and it is Microsoft's anechoic chamber.
Anechoic.
Yes, and so apparently sound can be in negative decibels. It is a negative 20.6 decibels. It says that it is built out of heavy
That's right.
concrete and brick, and it's mounted on
It means
springs.
nothing.
So you can't even get
general.
vibrations from the floor. Nothing.
Not even good vibrations.
There's no vibes.
Good. There's null
What about
vibrations.
the excitations?
Also null.
I'll give you one more space fun fact. The
We
sun
really
makes a
didn't.
sound,
Yes,
yeah, I get that.
but
Heat.
it is...
I'm hot.
what is the sound of heat?
Burn. Melt your
You're
skin.
just saying words.
I was just hissing.
It
So,
says words. We
there
just don't
are
know.
pressure waves, and it is
Under pressure.
That's what it says.
measured in hundreds of miles, and our human ears cannot hear it, but it does make a sound. We just can't hear it.
I'm ready to hear your story.
I have got a true crime for you guys.
True crime.
Beautiful, thank you.
Why? I hate it when you make that face.
Why are you making that face?
It's me. It's not me. It's not you. It's me.
It's not me, it's you.
Are we breaking up?
I hope not.
That's what it sounded like.
All right, we're going to talk about a guy named Matthew. I'll tell you his last name later.
Matt.
Actually, I don't know if he went by Matt. Maybe he did. All right, November 20th, 2010. Matthew and his two friends, Cohen Klein, who was 19, and I keep wanting to call him Calvin Klein throughout my entire story.
CK1.
CK.
Cohen Klein.
Do you remember that smell?
Very unisex.
Love it.
His friend, Cohen Klein, who was 19, and David Octoloni, who was 17, went to the woods.
Octagon. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not
Calvin
pronouncing his
Klein
last name right.
And David Octagon.
We're going to call him David. All right, so more specifically, they went to the Belangolo State Forest in New South Wales, Australia.
We've been here.
Not the Belangalos.
I talked about the Belangalos.
Yes, you did.
Belangalo.
Belangalo.
So Matthew...
I think we did this last time
I did.
too.
Hold on. Belangolo.
Yes, because it sounds like a didgeridoo.
Yes. Matthew and Cohen had told David that they were going there to drink and smoke marijuana because it was David's birthday. So Matthew starts accusing David of basically talking bad about him behind his back. He said, "You're going around telling people about me." And he said, "Look at the dirt. I'm going to kill you if you keep moving. Look at the ground and answer my questions." And so he basically puts him down flat on the ground.
Well, there goes the fun.
And he's standing over him.
I went out the window. God damn it.
And then all of a sudden, he has this giant
Calvin?
axe.
Is it Calvin or is it Klein?
Matthew.
No, Matthew was doing this. Calvin is there, and he is watching the whole thing and recording it on his cell phone. I know we're thinking
She's
like
an
just
animal.
like a normal axe, and it is not. It is like...
Oh, that's like a battle axe. That's
it's
what
like,
that is.
It looks like something from like Dungeons and Dragons or
yeah,
something.
no, exactly. I'm
It's like,
almost positive that's what that's
what
called.
you
Is a
would
battle
take
axe.
to confront a 3-headed dog.
Like a double-headed axe, I guess is what you would think of it as.
A
Like
2-headed dog. Yep.
It is a battle axe, God damn it! I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's
No,
in
you're-
games and everything.
You're wrong. It's an axe for battle.
So what I'm...
You're wrong. It's a double-headed axe.
This is not just an axe he has laying around his house that he's using to chop firewood.
Right. Yeah.
He bought
That's
it from
what
a,
I'm getting
a
at.
comic book
Like,
store.
It does look
Planned
like that.
this out. Yes.
Yeah.
So he pulls out this axe, and there was a third teenager there with them. His name was Chase Day, and he was with them, and he sees the axe, and he was like, hold on, stop. What are we doing here? And Matthew goes, get in the car. So he goes and gets in the car. And he's like, I'm just going to pretend like I'm not here, basically.
Aw,
I think
okay.
he was a teenager. He was probably scared for his life at that point. But like I said, Cohen is a jerk and decides to record this entire thing with his cell phone. Matthew continues to threaten David. He continues to yell at him and interrogate him. And it's a 15-minute long audio recording. And at the very end, you can hear David basically begging for his life. And then you hear the sound of the axe hitting David repeatedly.
Oh.
All right. So in a confession, because obviously there's a recording of the entire thing, there is no question who did this. So in his confession, Matthew said he was just, quote, doing what my family does. Because after all, this is Matthew Milat.
These are my confessions. Sorry.
Sure.
In the 1990s,
Wait,
if
wait.
you remember, there
Who
was
is Matthew Milat?
7 young
Ivan
backpackers
Milat.
were discovered in Belangolo State.
Wait, what? My mind is blown. I just remembered it. I was spelling it in my head and not the same. But now I realize that's Ivan Milat.
Matthew Milat. And he
Oh,
said
is
he
it his
was
brother?
doing what my family does.
His little brother.
It's his brother.
It's not his brother.
No.
And his cousin.
So this is 2010.
Dad. Son.
This is his
They're
great.
related.
This is his great nephew.
Great nephew.
Okay.
Okay, that's a reach.
So-
Matthew, but okay.
In the 1990s, as we remember, the bodies of 7 young backpackers were discovered in Belangolo State Forest. And this was the killings of the backpacker murderers, aka Ivan Milat.
I hear backpackers.
It's the backpacker.
Not the backpacker. The backpackers.
Oh, Ivan.
Yeah,
this
Ivan
is-
sucked.
An
Ivan the
episode
Terrible.
that Sarah just did, and it was called Bill the Australian Yeti.
Right, because we discovered.
This is where I invented the Australian Yeti. Yes.
The shaved Australian Yeti.
No, no, no. He's just bald.
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 He's not shaved. He's bald.
He shaved. That would imply he had hair to begin with, and he shaved it.
How foolish of me to think that he would have had hair.
How dare you? He's just bald. He's adapted
He was
over
born
time.
hairless.
To the Australian
It's
tundra
not a choice, Lindsay.
is a lifestyle.
So Ivan, he got 7 consecutive life sentences plus 18 years. So he is in prison when this is all going down.
Wow. Okay.
So Matthew was born as Matthew Milat, but he changed his name to Matthew Milat in 2007 when he was 14 years old. And Milat was his mother's maiden name, so he said that's why he wanted to take it, but I think there were some red flags.
Yeah.
He was very young when his great uncle was captured and incarcerated, but he reportedly bragged about his connection to his great uncle growing up. He was very proud of it.
That's concerning.
And after he killed David, he told a friend, quote, "You know me, you know my family, you know the last name Milat. I did what they do," end quote.
You know, that's not something I think I would brag about.
I think that you should take a second to think about what you're saying.
Matthew, you have problems.
Matt.
So go and listen to Sarah's episode if you haven't. Ivan Milat is
Please do.
the most prolific serial killer in Australia.
He is, yeah.
And so this guy is bragging about his connection to the worst serial killer of their entire country.
He really did some terrible things.
Mhm.
He really does have a connection, though.
He really does have a connection. Turns out he also did terrible things.
Yeah.
Do you think it's genetic?
You know, okay, maybe a little.
So in Sarah's story, you talked a little bit about how his whole family had
a lot of
criminal
problems.
histories. Yes. And it was also suspected that he had help during some of his killings. That might have been his sister.
It might have been his sister.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So the fact that Matthew alluded to this, saying like, you know, my family, this is what we do, makes me think that
Interesting.
the family dysfunction ran very deep in their family.
So is it genetic? Maybe, but also like I think it's probably promoted within the family. It kind of sounds like.
So, like, strongly environmental.
There was a
Right.
lot of generational
Because
trauma.
All that he's seeing is
Yeah, and
everything
he was never
happening.
discouraged from that type of
Okay.
behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So Matthew is obviously arrested pretty quickly. During his trial, the judge said that he took life in a cruel and brutal manner. The acting Justice Jane Matthews said the, quote, deliberate and premeditated crime was done for personal enjoyment, and that the last 10 minutes of David's life were filled with horror and unimaginable torment. Both men pled guilty. I mean, they really didn't have any other choice. Like I said, it was all recorded, and they played the recording in court.
Oh,
They also asked David's family if they wanted to leave during this part of the trial, and they all chose to stay and listen to the recording
yeah.
of his last
I
moments.
don't know what I would do. I mean, you know, you want to be supportive of your family, but my God, that's awful.
I read the transcript of it. I don't think it's like public where you can listen to it, but you can read the transcript of it, and he's like pleading for his life. And
That's
awful.
awful.
I can't imagine wanting to listen to that.
Mm-mm.
But I get what you're saying too. Like they probably wanted to have answers.
Yeah.
In 2012, Justice Matthews sentenced Matthew Milat to a maximum of 43 years, and Cohen, who recorded it, got 32 years.
Oh, wow.
The judge also said that the recording was, quote, extremely distressing material. And she said that Matthew did not appear to have any expressions of genuine remorse or regret for his crimes. Throughout all of court, people were saying that he was just very stone-faced, like did not give anything away, did not react at all, even listening to the recording. But it was a very significant location because he sought this location out as the place where his great uncle had lured a lot of people and killed them as well. So they think he picked that location on purpose.
Ew.
One of the detectives said that this was, quote, a thrill to kill. So basically he did this just because he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they will be eligible for parole in 2040 and 2032, respectively.
That's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to say it like that?
It is.
That is hurtful. That
Matthew-
feels like
8 years.
centuries away.
I know.
2032 is 8 years from now.
That's just when they're eligible for parole. I highly doubt they will get
Right.
it, but
Well, maybe the guy who videoed,
I was
though.
going to say Cohen Klein, I don't know. He
Yeah.
might, yeah. Matthew Milat is seen as popular, charming, and a hero in prison. He is known by staff to be very manipulative, and they think that that's why he's seen as so popular and charming. People like him.
Oh, I thought you meant for the murders. I was like, whoa.
No, like he is very
He's just
popular
so-
in prison.
In prison?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Presented in court also were several poems that Matthew wrote prior to the killing, and
He's a
they read
poet.
these.
Mm.
Wow.
Adorable.
One of them is entitled Killer Looks, And
okay.
just part of it says, take a dash, safety in twos, look for a friend so you feel safe. Trust them or your life they might take. Are you safe? You'll never know. But one day you might come to blows.
Oh, that is awful.
I hate it. It sounds like something Zach might have in his museum for some reason.
Like a transcript of this poem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he have like artwork from all of the inmates?
He does.
Another poem that he titled Cold Life says, kill for cash is what I do. Call me up, I'll work for you. I am not fazed by blood or screams. Nothing I do will haunt my dreams.
Honestly, these are elementary rhymes. They're not impressive. I would like a haiku.
He could try harder.
They do rhyme.
He could spend his time like learning how to write better poetry.
He could spend his time learning to rhyme.
An onomatopoeia.
An onomatopoeia. Not impressed. Matthew,
No.
here's the thing.
Impressed.
You're not really making a good case for yourself to
No.
get out.
Exactly. Like they
Which
find these
We
poems.
don't want you out anyways, but like they're like Judge Z's like, what the fuck, man?
Like, you have no remorse. No duh. Look at the
No
poems.
remorse, and clearly you're probably going to do this again. Like, no.
So the question everybody wanted to know, how did Ivan Milat take the news when he found out his grandnephew?
Ivan's a little crazy.
I never thought about that.
He was, quote, shocked and dismayed. So remember, Ivan always said he was innocent.
He did.
He never once admitted to it, and they tried to get him to admit many times and
Even though
confess.
they found everything on him in his house.
So he couldn't, they think because he was always like, I'm innocent, he couldn't be outwardly proud of having a killer in the family
Very
because
true.
then that would, yeah. So he was very publicly shocked and upset about this.
So it might have
The
been his
dog.
sister's
His sister, so
grandkid.
Matthew's mom was Ivan's niece.
It's a stretch, Matthew, but
It's a stretch.
unfortunately, you went there.
But he purposefully changed his last name
Ew.
to that of the most notorious serial killer to be identified with him.
That feels like a cry for help.
I came across that name and I said, this is a familiar name. Oh, look at this. He's related to Ivan Milat.
Oh, this checks out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like a family tie to Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a minute, but I got there.
You got there. And you got
Clicking?
the Belangolo State
I
Forest.
know Belangolo real quick.
It's hard to forget that
I
one.
went there. I knew the Australian Yeti. I knew we were in the forest.
Bill.
Bill was there.
Bill was there.
He might still be there.
He obviously is there.
Poor Bill has seen some things.
Some people have seen some things on Bill.
Yeah.
Bill is running around naked, so
What are those things that people wear that look like pubic hair?
what?
Okay, hold on.
Like a loincloth?
It's like a toupee for your crotch.
What?
I don't have my phone.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to Google for
No,
you?
I don't want to
Please do.
Google this.
Toupee for your crotch. There's a name for it.
Okay.
It's called a
I don't wanna
gherkin
see
or something.
photos.
A merkin.
Merkin. I was so
A
close.
gherkin?
Gherkin.
Is that from Trolls?
It's a pickle.
What are you doing?
A gherkin is a pickle.
I was very close. I want you to know.
I'd like to know why you know this.
Yeah, why is this a thing?
Random facts.
A merkin is
No.
a pubic wig.
This is not a random fact. Where did you hear of this?
Merkins were worn by sex workers after shaving their mons pubis and are now used as decorative items or erotic devices by both men and women. Why do you know these things?
I truly do not know. I truly do not know.
Oh, it's called a kitty carpet.
No. No. Why does Australia bring out the perverts in you? I hate
Why do
this
they
so
make them
much.
so
I'm never
frilly
going
and long?
to do an Australian story again.
Bill, the Australian naked Yeti with a merkin.
I want to leave this world.
Lindsay, you're welcome.
Things that I did not ever need to know in my life. No, I don't want to see anymore.
There's Bill's merkin. That looks pretty close.
Bill Nye, the merkin guy?
Don't ruin Bill Nye. How
Oh.
dare you? How
Oh.
dare you?
Lindsay hates it so much.
There are not enough words in the English language to convey how
Full
much I hate
circle.
this.
Oh, we're back to Wikipedia. Here we are.
Lindsay, I'm so sorry she did this.
Gherkins.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our true crime episode. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com with our socials linked from there, or send us an email at thetipsyghost@gmail.com.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it. And it helps.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.